I'm Richard Nixon, your narrator for today. First, in the 1910s, Henry Ford put his idea for the assembly line into action. Join Henry Ford and his son Edsel in this marionette play as they find a better way to mass-produce items. Henry and Edsel Ford built and observed the assembly line, but they had to watch out for their competitor, Louis Chevrolet. Henry Ford's business is still running today. Henry Ford and the assembly line really made an impact on how factories are run.
If only I, Henry Ford, could decrease the amount of time it takes to make a car, then I could surely become very rich.
Hi, Dad. What are you doing on this marvelous day in 1930?
Oh, hi, Edsel, my son. I'm trying to make my car company the richest in the world.
I thought you already did that, though, with your most recent entry. This be a stylish Model T.
Well, yes, the Model T is very great, but if there was a way to make the creating process easier, then I could surely sell them for a low price.
Yes, it's probably true, but what if you invest too much time and effort in this and get nothing out of it?
You know, son, back when I was a boy in the 1860s, my mother told me something very important. She said in these words,
"Henry, you don't take any risks. You won't even play cards because you think it's risky. You take some risks, son."
Really?
no. But I think if my mother had told me something like that, it would represent this situation perfectly.
Oh, so you're telling me so I can not only realize how I was born on a lovely farm in 1863, but in Portland as well?
Yes. Wait! I just got an idea. I could create a conveyor belt thing that would keep my cars moving along.
Genius!
Then my employees would stay in one spot and repeat a certain task on every car, over and over and over again.
Genius!
Then Eli Whitney's invention of interchangeable parts in 1798 will come in handy because all the parts for my cars will be the same.
Genius, genius, genius! Your interchangeable parts are truly, truly, truly interchangeable!
If we make these cars affordable, maybe even so our workers can afford them. We'll be rich! Rich, I tell you! Ha ha ha!
Cool idea, but I have a question. Wouldn't it be boring with the same part on the same car over and over and over again?
That's why I'll pay my workers $5. That's double the old wage. This machine will revolutionize how things are made forever.
Cool idea, but I have a question. Wouldn't it be boring to put the same part on the same car over and over and over again?
It's gonna revolutionize how things are made forever. For the turn of the next century, everything will be made quickly and cheaply on assembly lines.
I'm gonna go eat some pie. Being genius is like meat and
The big limousine has to back down the hill, but the big little Ford is going uphill. When it runs out of dope, just fill it up with soap, and the little Ford will ramble right along. Now they ran over glass and they ran over nails, they ran over pigs and
Spark goes here and the other one over here. Right?
Yes, that part goes here and the other one over here.
I can't believe it. Henry Ford, former Edison engineer, producer of the prototype quadricycle, founded the Ford Car Company, and created the famous Model T. In 1908, was born on July 30th, 1863, has created a way to make cars extremely fast and for less money.
All right. If we give it some power, it should work.
You do realize there's a man spying on us from over there?
Oh, yes. He's Louis. He works for one of my competitors.
I mean, Louis Chevrolet, son of a watchmaker and race car driver, designer of 6-cylinder luxury cars.
That would be me.
What do you want, Louis?
I, Louis Chevrolet, have come to see if you have created a way to make cars faster and cheaper. It seems you have.
Well, yes. You've come at the right time. I've created a machine that will make my company the richest in the world.
Nothing you could have created could possibly make your company thrive more than Chevrolet or General Motors.
I'll prove to you that I've come up with possibly the greatest invention of the year. You see, my machine continues to move my cars along, and as my cars go past my workers will put their own specific piece on the car.
That will be much easier to make and repair cars.
Darn it, you win. That's genius!
Hey man, that's my line. You didn't do it right.
Now run along, Lewis. I have work to do.
You shall be rich. I will go now and never return. Actually, I'll probably return so soon.
That's right, run back to William during your boss.
I pass. It's alive!
Of course, if that's what you mean.
Of course that's what I mean.
Hello, dear. Is something like fully functional?
Yes, it's working and it's genius.
So everybody can take my line. Have I no rights?
You know, Louis, I think someday in the future, our car companies will be some of the most successful in the world.
Chevrolet and Ford, the two great car companies in the world.
Ford will be advertised everywhere.
Chevrolet will have many cars, such as Corvette and Silverado.
Ford will have many famous cars, such as the F-150 and the Mustang.
We're still guessing right because this is getting a little creepy.
Beware, this machine is raking in the dough. Instead of 12 hours per car, it takes less than 6 hours to make a car. This machine is revolutionizing the way things are made.
I am Louis Chevrolet and I was played by Harley Zane.
I am Edsel B. Ford, and I was played by Ryan Gallagher.
And I am Henry Ford, and I was played by Danny Stein.
Amelia Earhart embarked on an epic around-the-world flight in the 1930s. She fought against the people who told her she couldn't fly around the world because she was a woman. Fred Newman, her navigator, and Netta Snook, her flight teacher, helped her realize her dream. Although she and Fred were forever lost over the Pacific Ocean, Amelia will always be remembered for her attempt to be the first woman to fly around the world.
Welcome all. I am Fred Noonan, famous navigator from the 1930s. Amelia Earhart was one of the most famous aviators ever lived, and I was lucky enough to accompany her on her last flight, and mine. Amelia was not born famous. Instead, we lived in Ashton, Kansas in 1916.
Mom, before I went to college at Marionettes, and our last time together, please tell me more of the times I was your Amelia.
Yes, I would love to. I remember each event vividly. We were born on a blazing July day, the 24th, 1897. We were brought into the earth right here in Atchison, Kansas. I decided to name you after your supportive grandmother, my Amelia.
Yeah, now I remember how I spent my life traveling because of Dad's railroad job. Between Atchison, Kansas, Des Moines, Iowa, and later Chicago, Illinois.
You always loved to play with your sister, Grace.
Dad, I'm glad you can make it. I won't be seeing you for a while since I'm going away off to college.
College is here already. In this day and age, it's not normal for a girl to go to college.
Dad, it's not fair that women aren't able to do the same things as men. Someday, I'll prove the world wrong. Women and men should be equal. Gender should not be a barrier. Women have the same capabilities as men.
Stop fighting. The modest inheritance you got from your grandmother, Amelia, should help you live comfortably and afford all the schooling you need.
Yes, with that money, you should also try to enjoy some extracurricular activities, such as a Red Cross first aid course, maybe nursing, and possibly some fine lessons. Amelia did everything her dad said to enjoy and more. She took pleasure in aviation and decided to help out as a nurse during World War I. Or decided to take fine lessons from Netta Snook. Amelia also found comfort in helping people and decided to be a nurse during World War I.
I am really enjoying taking flying lessons with you, Netta Snook. It's a new and dangerous sport. Most people would have put me down saying I couldn't achieve it, but you did quite the opposite.
Yes, after only 10 hours of instruction, you're able to fly alone.
It is an amazing achievement for Amelia to learn how to fly in only 10 hours. She continued showing signs of determination.
The world will soon be in awe of you. On June 17th, 1928, you will be the first woman to fly alone in an airplane. You do not have to act like the stereotypical woman. Have fun and be yourself.
Okay, thank you for all the encouragement. Without you constantly telling me I was just as good as men, I never would have made it this far.
This was only one of the many first records Amelia set. In January of 1935, Amelia was the first person from Hawaii to fly from Hawaii to California. In 1929, she set the wind speed record. Amelia was the first person to fly solo Pacific Ocean. In April of 1931, Amelia set the Autogiro altitude record of 15,000 feet and 18,415 feet on the very same day.
Netta, you know so much about me, but what you must want to know is how I got interested in flying.
I would love to find out.
It started off in my very first plane run with Frank Cox, December 8th, 1920. I had always been bursting with courage and had the urge to be different from other people. So I decided to make flying my lifelong hobby.
Wow, I never knew that. With the Great Depression and everything going on, I thought the outside world might change who you are.
Never. The outside world should never change who you are on the inside.
They went on like this for some time. Amelia was telling about the time the plane had cost $1. Amelia talked about how things were not going so well and she needed a way to escape.
Dear students, I'd like to encourage women to snap jobs in aviation. You are all the future of the world, and how it turns out is in your hands. Women should not just sit around and clean the house. Nobody stands up to unjust laws that remain the same. That is why, in 1931, I'd like to start the 1990s Flying Club for Women. George Putnam, as your wife, I'd just like to thank you for all the positive encouragement you have given me through my flying years.
No, you've been my one reason for coming home tonight. There is nothing I can do, no amount of money I can earn will make me as happy as when I'm with you. Time passed.
Fred, are you ready for this round-the-world flight we are going to start tomorrow?
With my navigating experience and the great talent you have for flying, we shall be invincible.
Have you ever wondered why I wanted to try this daunting task?
As a matter of fact, I know why. I want to prove to men you are just as courageous, skillful, and fearless as they are.
As Amelia's flying coach, I would normally commend the courage that Amelia has, but sometimes too much valor is a bad thing. Let's fast forward a bit closer to Amelia's around-the-world flight.
Since I will not be traveling with the whole flight, let's double check. You don't realize you forgot a pair of shoes halfway through your flight.
It won't be that bad since there will be stops.
Yes, and you don't have to worry about your plane. The Lockheed 10E Electra running out of gas because she has extra large gas tanks.
The very next day, May 21st, 1937, Amelia and Fred left from Oakland, California on their epic flight. First stop, 238 miles away in Burbank, California.
This stop is the last time our plane will be checked for any mechanical issues. We're flying to New Orleans, Louisiana, then Miami, Florida. We'll have to make sure our plane will withstand the majority of the flight around the world.
Yeah, I'm sure this handcrafted plane will be able to endure the toughest of weather conditions.
Fred and Amelia's flight never reached its end. Their plane disappeared somewhere over the Pacific. Their radio signals were unable to be heard. The U.S. Navy searched for 3 empty days. Even though Amelia failed in her awe-inspiring attempt to fly around the world, she still made a difference. Amelia is not just remembered for her amazing aviation skills, but her courage to walk or fly her own path. At least Amelia died doing what she loved, or did she?
Hi everybody, I'm Amelia Hurt, and I was played by Lizzie Hogan.
I'm Fred Noonan, and I was played by Caitlin Samuels.
I'm Netta Snook, and I was played by Vivian Wilhelm subbing for Marissa Heinzel.
The 40s were a big decade for Jackie Robinson, Kenny Washington, and Wapni Saka. In the 40s, they fought for their rights to play sports as colored people. Sports have many different kinds of people playing in them now, all because of these men. All sports players should thank them. Breaking the color barrier has changed the sport world forever.
Wapni Saka, come over here.
Huh? Who said that?
To the right, Watt. No, Watt, you're on the right.
Oh, hey. Who are you?
Well, I am Robert Kappa, reporter from the New York Times.
Oh, I've heard of you before. Aren't you the famous photojournalist?
Oh, yes, but let's talk about you.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Well, I know that you were famous for breaking the color barrier in the NBA in 1948, playing for the New York Knicks, but tell us about college.
Well, I played for Utah, and I led my team into an NIT championship in 1947.
Okay, what else did you do? Did you win any honors or awards?
Actually, I did. I got inducted into the Utah Sports Hall of Fame in 1950. I also got great crowd support when I played for Utah.
Fascinating. How about when you broke the color barrier as an Asian American in the NBA?
I played for the New York Knicks in the pros. I got extremely booed by many fans, and those words were so bad I cannot repeat them.
Tough life. What else happened there?
I got cut from the Knicks after being selected in the first round of the draft.
Why do you think that happened?
Most people think it is because the Knicks organization was racist, but I know that is the case. I think it might be only because I scored 7 points in the 3 games I played. I kind of wanted to quit because I had to put up with many racial comments.
I see. Tell me about what you are planning to do now in these coming years.
Well, I just turned down a chance to play for the Harlem Globetrotters.
Why would you do that?
I just don't like being that flashy, like this.
Oh, that makes sense. Wow, look at the time. I've got to go catch up with Kenny Washington, the first African-American football player. Thanks for talking, Watt.
Thanks for being here.
Mr. Washington, Kingfish, Kenny, come over here.
Hi, I see you know my name, but I don't know yours.
I am Robert Kappa. It is nice to meet you, Mr. Washington.
Please, call me Kenny.
Okay, Kenny. I'm doing a story on famous athletes who broke the color barrier in professional sports. We need to talk.
So, what do you want to know?
What was your career like in college football?
I had a pretty good career playing for UCLA from 1935 to 1939. I had 1,914 rushing yards in my career. That record stood for 34 years.
Did you win any awards or honors?
Yup, my number 13 was the first retired number in school history.
Wow, that is a big honor.
I also became the first consensus All-American in school history. And I led the nation in total offense as a senior in 1939. I was inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame in 1941.
Oh my, is there anything you didn't get honored for?
Actually, there is. I wasn't on the ballot for the East-West Shrine Game. That caused outrage on the West Coast because people thought I was being racially discriminated against. Everyone on the West Coast loved me, but on the other side of the nation, they thought I shouldn't have been allowed to play in the NFL.
Ah, I see why people could have thought that. Now, before you went to the NFL, you were in the Pacific Coast Football League. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, the Pacific Coast Football League is for African Americans who weren't allowed in the NFL because of the color of their skin.
What team did you play for?
Well, I played for the Hollywood Bears with my college buddy William Strode in 1945.
Did you win any honors?
Well, yes, I won all league honors all 4 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, tell us about your color barrier breaking NFL days.
Well, I signed with the Los Angeles Rams in 1946. My friend William Strode also signed. I had 8 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown in LA from 1946 to 1947. Sadly, my career was only 3 years long.
Well, Kenny, I've got to bounce. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me. I will get this to my newspaper as soon as possible.
I actually have to thank you for chatting with me.
Wow, you must be the amazing Jackie Robinson. You're famous for breaking the color barrier in baseball in 1947.
Yes, I am. Who are you again?
Why, I'm Robert Kappa of the New York Times. I'm doing a story about famous athletes who broke the color barrier in their sports.
Oh, okay. So what do you want to know about me?
Before your Major League Baseball, you attended college at UCLA.
Yes, I did. I didn't just play baseball. I was also an All-American football player.
Wow, I guess you could say you are a true biathlete.
Well, I guess you could say that.
Well, what was it like in the Major League Baseball?
Well, it was a rough experience. Many fans of baseball hated me for playing in the MLB. I also got many racial comments. Think of 6 giraffes spitting at you, and then add some racial slurs and death threats to my life. That's what I put up with. I did win Rookie of the Year honors in my first season. I eventually won National League MVP in 1949.
That would be a tough experience. Did you lead the league in anything?
Well, yes, I did. I led the MLB with 29 stolen bases in 1948. I also had 12 home runs in my rookie year. Like this home run slide.
Is there anyone you would like to thank for your career in baseball?
I would like to thank Branch Rickey, the manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, because he really took a chance on me in 1947. I decided I was ready and started immediately. Branch was hated because he thought blacks were as good as whites and were good for the game.
Now that I've talked to Walt Misaka, Kenny Washington, and Jackie Robinson, I can give this story to the editor. Bye, everyone. Hi, I'm Robert Kappa, and I was played by Max Richter, subbing for Connor Reef.
Hi, I'm Walt Misaka, and I was played by Ryan Coleman.
Hi, I'm Kenny Washington, and I was played by Colin Duffy.
Hi, I'm Jackie Robinson, and I was played by Noah Olsen.
I said, well, you know, baby, I'm not starving either, but I could eat. She says, oh, what do you have in mind? I said, I don't know what about you. She says, I don't care if you're hungry, let's eat. I said, that's what we're gonna do. But first you gotta tell me what it is you're hungry for. And she says, let me think, what's that?
In the 50s, Ray Kroc, Mac McDonald, and Dick McDonald started a chain of restaurants that started the fast food revolution. Ray Kroc opened the first McDonald's with his friends, the McDonald brothers, on April 15, 1955. Today, 27 million people eat at McDonald's every day. Do you go to McDonald's? If you do, you've got to thank these guys.
This should be awesome. I made this restaurant close to Chicago so I could get more business. Would you agree with me, Mr. Dick McDonald?
I agree with you, Mr. Ray Kroc. Chicago's a big city, so you should get a lot of business. Hey, where's my brother Mac anyways? Mac.
Hey fellas, it's just about the end of the first day of this new company we've already made $366.55.
That's great, Mac. Maybe we could all become multimillionaires.
Hey Dick, can I ask you a question?
Sure, what is it?
What exactly did you put on the menu?
The menu includes hamburgers, cheeseburgers, shakes, Coca-Cola, milk, orangeade, and water.
Dick, that's really smart. I want a system where people can get in and out quickly. That's why we don't have indoor seating.
Hey, I will put up signs around town so people would come to our restaurant. I spent 4 hours on that.
All right, Mac. You're pretty smart, too. You are the guy who created the burger shack in California that gave me the idea for McDonald's.
Thank you, Ray.
Guys, customer trust our food processing line is exceptional. And you know what they say, the customer is always right.
This is going to be the start of something big. I was the one who came up with the idea for the food processing line.
Okay, guys, let's not get ahead of ourselves now. This is only a small drive-in located in a small town.
No race, no goose. We're going to just drive in, give a window for walk-out self-service.
Okay, guys, you know what I mean. I don't expect too much from this company anyway.
Me and her, cars in front of us, cars in back of us, all just waiting to order. There's some idiot in a Volvo with a bright sun behind me. I lean out the window and scream, hey, what you trying to do, blind me? What if maybe we should go? We could just go eat inside. Sit at work, what you hit? I don't know.
Guys, it's 1956, and we only have 14 locations.
My brother and I don't think we should have many locations.
Yeah, Mac and I don't believe in large businesses because we think the customer is more important. Small businesses are the future of America.
I agree. However, I think we need to expand, or we won't make any money. We won't have any room for profit.
Ray, that actually makes sense, but for us it's the customers and then the money.
Yeah, we like to make money a little bit more than they imply, but we care more about the customers.
We never believed in having a big company that only cares about money.
Oh.
You know, guys, I admit that I love making money more. However, I care more about the customers, too.
Oh, yeah? What was the name of the last customer to come by a restaurant and buy a burger?
Bill? Or was it Phil?
Ha! That proves you don't know anything about the customers. The last customer to buy a burger today was me.
That is a huge fail. You sold him a burger.
God darn. Well, it's apparent we want different things from this company. I want to go global, and you guys want to stay local. Our sales have gone up amazingly this past year. We've sold over 3 million burgers. We really need to expand.
This isn't going to work, is it?
You can't buy your Ray. You don't know that. We don't allow money to charity and you're a business tycoon. We can't afford to buy the company from you.
Well, guys, it's been fun. Because I feel bad for you, I will let you name your price. I'll give you fellas a little time to discuss.
Do you think we could sell it to him for $20,000?
Tried to 100,000. We worked just as hard as he did. I don't want to let it go for a steal. It was us, well, mostly me, that came up with the idea for the food processing line. Not him.
Max, settle down!
Okay, I'm sorry.
I agree with your statement, but I weren't ready to spend a lot. If he's going to buy us up, I at least want to wish him the best.
Okay, I agree. Ray did get this company off the ground.
Good point, Mac. Let's sell it high, but not too high.
Good idea. I trust your judgment, so I'll let you name the price.
Thank you, Mac.
Okay, fellas, what's it gonna be? Just don't gash me too big.
You decide on 90,000 big ones.
Yeah, that seems like a fair price. You know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make it 100,000. Does that sound fair?
Ray, that's very generous, but you don't have to do that.
Trust me, boys. It's the least I can do for you. After all, you guys did give me this idea when you bought 10 multi-mixers off me in 1937. The milkshake idea inspired me. Can you do 150,000? Now that you said that, I feel our ideas are worth more. For you, Mac, anything. $150,000 it is.
Thanks, Ray. All the best to you.
And to you, too.
She looked back at me. I said, I think you have something in your teeth. She turned away from me and then turned back and said, did I get it? I said, yeah. Well, I mean, most of it, but hey, you know, don't sweat. Then she said, how about now? I said, yeah, almost. It's a weird outside. Don't worry. It's probably just a piece of toast.
After that, I never looked back. I now have 31,000 restaurants all around the world.
When we sold you the franchise, we never thought it'd be this big.
Yeah, Ray, my hat really goes off to you the way you made our small idea really big.
My proudest moment was the opening of my 100th restaurant in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Go Wisconsin.
Why your 100th restaurant? I thought you'd be happier when your 1000th location opened the exact town that started it all. That's Plains, Illinois.
Ray, you've accomplished a lot. I can even open McDonald's for breakfast.
Oh, shucks, fellas. Don't think I forgot about you. I named a sandwich after you boys, the Big Mac.
You only named it after Mac, though.
No. I named it Mac for McDonald's.
Oh, I see now.
Remember that McDonald's in Munich where they served alcohol?
You know, in my defense, I want to do something different.
Ray, I don't mean to be mean, but McDonald's lost that hurt America.
Dude, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but how so?
Your fast food is full of fat and cholesterol. It can increase the rate of heart disease for people who eat too much.
No, Dick, you may have a point there. But we may need to try to introduce some healthier options in, say, the 1990s or the 2000s, like oatmeal. But in addition, my fast food isn't meant to be eaten every day. It's more of a once-in-a-while kind of thing.
Good point, Ray.
Okay, we can be positive now. Ray, how do you think McDonald's has helped America?
I think McDonald's has helped the economy by creating more jobs.
You have a valid point. Jobs are important.
Ever thought about serving different food in any McDonald's?
No, not really. I believe every McDonald's should be the same.
That started the franchising idea, didn't it?
Yeah, I guess it did. I always made sure the Big Mac tasted the same in Hong Kong as it does in New York.
Now, ever since Ray, everybody's had the same idea for franchising. Every restaurant looks the same and tastes the same.
As you can clearly see, our man Ray turned a small shack into a worldwide phenomenon. How about a round of applause for Ray? I'm Dick McDonald, and I was played by Jack Vine.
I'm Mac McDowell, and I was played by Max Ricker.
I'm Ray Kroc, and I was played by David Wester. Thank you very much. That's it.